So you were earlier, before we started, telling us about the surprising evils of agave syrup, which is, the hot new thing. So we shouldn't be using that as a sugar substitute?
Anybody want a lesson on carbohydrates? Raise your hand, and that way I'll explain what agave is. Something we should all know anyways. Let's pretend this little cube here is glucose, okay? Glucose is our body's blood sugar. It's what's known as a monosaccharide, okay? Mono means one sugar molecule, okay? Let's pretend the pink one is fructose. Fructose is also a monosaccharide, mono meaning one. Fructose is actually 20% sweeter than glucose, which is why they like to put fructose in products, okay? If I take the glucose and put it together with the fructose, I get what's called a disaccharide. Di means two. And the name of this is called sucrose. Sucrose is actually table sugar. Okay? So table sugar is a bunch of these disaccharides together. So table sugar is 50% glucose and 50% fructose. Okay? If I take a bunch and put them together, this is called a polysaccharide. Poly means many sugar molecules. You know what else this is called? A complex carbohydrate. So all carbohydrates, complex or simple, are just chains of sugar. It's just simple carbohydrates are short chains, ones and twos, and complex carbohydrates are long chains of sugar. This could be up to thousands of units long. Okay? And that's the big aha, is that all carbohydrates are just chains of sugar. So when you ingest these, your body will use enzymes and break them apart one by one, and they'll enter the bloodstream as glucose. What's also interesting is that fiber is also a chain of sugar molecules. The difference is that fiber, we don't have the enzymes to break it down. So it goes down through your body, goes through the colon, and where it's fermented by bacteria. Okay, but along the way it's doing all these helpful mechanical functions, like removing cholesterol and slowing down sugar. Agave is made from the sap of what's called the blue agave plant, which is the same plant that's used to make tequila. And the sap actually contains a lot of these, which is, they're called fructans, or you might hear inulin, you might hear FOS. And what that means is it's just sweet fiber. So it's a bunch of fructose molecules that are tied together in their fiber. So the body actually never sees it. It just goes down to the colon where it's fermented. Now, so agave sap, actually it starts off good. But what they do is they take it and they process it and heat it up. And what that does is it breaks the bonds of these fibers. So the fructose goes into the syrup. So the fructose, single fructose molecules. So agave is typically up to 90% fructose. Agave is the real high fructose syrup. So what's wrong? Oh, and that's what we were talking about. It's very deceiving because on the label there's a picture of a plant. You say, oh, that's great. And then there's a, they have the words organic. Oh, that's better. And low glycemic, So you think finally a sweetener that's good. Well, here's the little. To me, agave is one of the biggest marketing deceptions they've been able to pull off, and I think it's just from, ignorance. And what happens, most people don't know this, but our liver is right here. This is our liver. This is where it lives. Okay? What typically happens with fructose is fructose comes down, and it never enters the bloodstream. It goes straight to the liver, and the liver does some processing, and it either can turn it into glucose or, use it in some way. So the liver is used to fructose, just in small quantities, like an apple or something. It is not used to a concentrated syrup of fructose. That's not found in nature. It's not found anywhere. So what happens is the liver gets overwhelmed and it just starts churning out the fat. And so this is how I picture it. Fructose comes in and the fat comes out.
Boy, that's not good to see,
No,
huh?
it's not good. So either fat likes to go on your hips or fat actually will come and make fatty liver. So this is why fructose is not good.